For me, although I felt the film failed for multiple reasons, the most egregious ones are these: a fundamental lack of understanding of the key themes of the story, and the complete lack of Greek culture and identity showcased in the film. We got maybe that scene in Athena's temple, and of course, that one guy actually speaking Greek who is positioned as a foreigner from the perspective of some apparently Greek soldiers leaving Troy. But for a story so tied to Greek, and in fact, many Mediterranean cultures, including my own, Sicilian, beyond the filming locations, these cultures were not represented in this film, and this was the first mark of disrespect to the source material. Xenia, the concept of the importance of hospitality in ancient Greece, is a main and obvious theme in Homer's Odyssey, and it was present in the film, which is good. But they decided to call it Zeus's Law. To me, this feels like Nolan thinks his audience is stupid. They could have explained the concept and used the word Xenia just once near the beginning of the movie, and subsequent references to Xenia would have made sense to the audience. Calling it Zeus's Law and explaining it multiple times felt forced. Zeus is associated with hospitality, yes, but it feels like Nolan was just like, this is good enough, let's call this central theme Zeus's Law. Everyone knows Zeus. And yet, we saw no Zeus. We saw no gods. Similarly, lines like, our age of bronze is collapsing. Could it be the people from the sea? Made me actually laugh out loud in the middle of the cinema. This was so incredibly contrived. It was not the wink wink nudge nudge to anyone in the audience who had read a history book the way that Nolan probably thought it would be. It was clumsy and story shattering to anyone who knew anything about the Bronze Age or the Sea Peoples, and would have totally gone unnoticed by anyone who didn't know. Furthermore, no person in the late Bronze Age had any awareness that they were in fact living in what modern historians call the Bronze Age. Now, raids and invasions by multiple different sea peoples were not the only reasons for the unraveling Bronze Age civilizations, but it is unlikely that the people living in them were this self-aware that their way of life was about to come to an end in this specific way. This was so dumb. I have few other words for it. Dumb, unnecessary, forced, and yet not a lick of Bronze Age shown in the costuming, armor, ships, etc. Back to what I feel are the key themes from Homer's Odyssey other than Xenia: gods, women, magic, and trickery or strategy. These elements are what pushes the story along and makes it interesting, and the conscious choice to remove most of them meant that inventions had to be made to keep the story flowing, and at each point, for me, this failed. This usually happened in the form of random one-liners from characters explaining why something must happen, in place of something which would have involved a god, a woman, magic, or trickery, and I will use specific examples.